A. Barakatay Hawa, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Hakwadash, double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders, a great millstone. Shalom to your brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continue fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing. We have found that number to be delivered. All right? So what you see on the screen here is one of the protests. Now, this particular protest was a couple months back. And, you can see the amount of people that's out there. Now, we speak. You see where this white truck is here, like somewhat in the middle of the screen. Right to the right of that truck, if you go about 10 feet over to the right of that truck, that's where we use that's where we usually speak, in that area. So this wasn't on the day that we go out there, but I'm gonna say this, brothers, we're starting to see an influx of these protests, popping up all over the world. All right, pursuant to what the scripture says. All right, being spiritual and being mindful that this ain't our fight. All right, we're not gonna be out there in the middle of these protests, joining hand in hand with a lot of these people out there. All right, this is their fight. That's their business. Though the scriptures prophesy these things are gonna take place, right? Our job is to come out and prophesy the downfall of America, and also being mindful that we're not gonna entangle ourselves with all this bullshit. All right. So let's get a couple of scriptures out. 2 Timothy 2:4 says, "No man that worth entangle himself with the affairs of this life." All right. What you're seeing on the screen are these people who have entangled themselves, or this is their life. Right. This is what they're fighting for. They're fighting for a lying and deceiving government. Though they don't understand it, they believe they're protesting against it, but they're protesting against their way of life, which is filled of lies and deceit. And they can't discern that. They can't tell the difference. They don't know what the hell's going on. These people just all show up. And if you look at them, everybody's just standing around aimlessly. Like, what do we do next? But we of the hope for the elect, we're not going to entangle ourselves with the affairs of this life. We don't give a damn about the affairs of this life. We weren't brought out here to protest, to march, to, be the center of, what's going on in the current events in this kingdom. That's not our job. Continuing on, it says, entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Right. So we're aiming to please Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai by pushing the truth. All right. As this word gets noised abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the time we're living in right now. All right. Let's continue. Sirach 3:23. It says, "Be not curious in unnecessary matters." What do you think these people out here protesting for? What's it say? Boston's hands-off rally. Do you really think that this government is going to take heed to what these people are saying? Do you think they give a damn about what you feel and about what you believe? All right? This is no longer that country that you people stood so proud for. All right? And it's going to get worse. What you're seeing right now is just the tip of the iceberg. And not only that, what you're also seeing is a group of people who have come together as one, if you will. Right? They've come together as one. They're all fighting for the same cause. This is why they're out there. This is why they came out in droves like they did. Right? But let me finish this out. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shown unto thee than men understand. And this is why when we get out there and we start prophesying, we're breaking the scriptures down, speaking about the prophecies, People can't understand that. But what they will understand is sticking together, unity, protesting against the government, standing up for the people, standing up for the community and their rights, their constitutional rights. This is what they'll understand. They're not going to understand that we, being the servants and prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that we've come to bring bad tidings. They're not going to understand when we speak about, the things that are going to be done in the latter days unto this place. All right? So this is why we don't get, caught up in, and be curious on unnecessary matters. We don't give a damn what this administration does, whatever they lay out to the people. Our focus is on pushing the word and pleasing Yahweh Bashem Yahushua with fear and trembling. That's our focus. All right? Let's continue. Ezekiel 12:27 says, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesieth of the times that are far off. And this is always going to be the theme. What the children of Israel and the children of and the people in the world, the heathens and whoever else. All right? They do not believe one word we say. Look at your boy Vocab Malone. He's leading the charge. We're telling you at an appointed time, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai sees fit, he's going to launch thermonuclear missiles over here. And that time is closer than we believe. Right? But look at the scoffers and scorners. They don't believe America's going to be destroyed. They don't believe that the Lord is coming back to subdue nations and kings. They don't believe that. So the vision that we see, you people say it's for a time for many days to come. But if you can discern the times and understand what time you're living in, you would clearly see and understand and know that this is the last times. We are in the last days. All right? Just by all the things that you see in the world and you put it all together, man, you're going to come to one conclusion. This place is just about finished. Let's continue on. Isaiah 60:2. It says, For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. You see? And these people, what we're seeing here, and this is just Boston, on some random day. These people are in gross darkness right now. They really and truly don't know if they're coming or going. And I'm pretty sure this was on a weekend. What you're seeing here was on a weekend. It may have been Friday into Saturday, but it definitely was a weekend. It's a lot of people out there. That stretches for a mile or so. But anyway, they're in gross darkness. And you couldn't tell them otherwise. Let's continue. It says, But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Right, the hopeful elect. The glory of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will be set upon us. All right? And we're going to have control and authority to tell you about this kingdom, about these prophecies, about the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We have authority to now teach these things. People still come up in disbelief, laughing and giggling. All right? But we got to understand there's phases to what we are now seeing. There are phases. right? And the phases are transitioning so subtle, you people can't even see it coming. All right? So with that gross darkness, these phases are right at your door. And these phases are prophecy bound. These phases that we're now seeing are bound by the prophecies. All right? So let's check it out. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 15. Second Ezra 15 and 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, right? And this is what you see. Now, when you look into that word sedition, it basically means the uprising or protesting of against the government, right? So as the title says here, Boston hands-off rally protests actions of Trump's administration. Well, who's the administration? The government. All right. So we're entering into that sedition mode or sedition phase, right? And as I said earlier, all these people are in one accord. They believe in the same goal. Get this guy out of office, bring back a Democrat, get back on track. That's what they believe. That's what they feel. All right. But mind you, that gross darkness. All right. So with that phase of the sedition, let's go to Matthew 24 and 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. And this is going to be another phase that we're going to enter in. Because the iniquity that this administration is putting forth is just going to divide the people. It's not going to drive these and keep these people together. It's going to be divided because certain things are going to start happening where you're going to have to choose a side, especially when it comes to the MOTB. All right? You're going to have to choose a side. And then once these people start making their decision on what side they're going to choose, then you're going to see how the love of many is going to start waxing cold. There's not going to be any more rallies. There's not going to be any more protests. Because Esau is going to put something in place that's going to drive a wedge right between these people. Right? So let's go back to 2nd Ezra 15. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. All right. Now that the sedition has started, something's going to transpire where it's going to drive for the love of many to wax cold. Right. And once that happens, once that phase is done, then we're going to continue in 2nd Ezra 15. It says, and invading one another. So there has to be no love for a group of people to invade one another. You see the phase progression of the phases. All right. We, the hopeful elect, the prophets, we see these phases. We see the progression. We see what's happening. But because there's such gross darkness upon you people, you have no idea. All right. So it says, in invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. They're already at odds with the officials. Well, let me say it this way. Right now, as it stands, the mayors and the governors of these states and cities are on board. They're all on board right now. They're giving these people the ability to gather, the ability to protest. And I've seen many mayors and many governors from different states, backing what these people believe, right? But when that wedge is forced between and divides the people in their mindset, right? What's going to happen? As it is written, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. Because right now, they're listening to him because they're all on the same page. They're all breathing the same breath, if you will. But whatever that event is, and we believe something's coming and something big is about to pop off, it's going to drive that wedge. And therefore, when these government officials, mayors and governors and city councilmen, whoever they may be, start talking and chirping about what you should do, the people ain't going to try to hear that shit. You know, it may be something that, you know, is transpiring through the administration, through the presidential administration, where now the mayors and governors have to be on board. That could be the driving force that's going to divide the people from their leaders, from their princes and kings. All right? So again, we're watching these phases unfold rapidly. And to finish it off, it says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. What do you think that course is going to be? What do you think that action is going to be? Self-preservation, man. Self-preservation. They may start shutting these stores down. They may start cutting off highway access, roadway access. Right? You know, they're starting to mandate these IDs, these digital IDs, which is going to segue fully into the MOTB. All right? So these are beautiful times we're living in, man. There's a lot of shit going on. And we of the hope for the elect, we see it. We prophesy about it. We warn you about it, as we have been commanded to do. All right? But for the blind sheep of the world, you're gonna feel it the worst, man. You're gonna get it. You're gonna really be in bad shape, man. Awful shape. All right. From there, let's go to Matthew's the 10th chapter. All right. Now, as we discuss these phases, all right, there's another phase. Matthew 10:35. It says, for I come to set a man at variance. All right. A man's going to be set at variance. Now, when you look up that word variance, all right, it says the fact or quality of being different, right? Inconsistent. And that's just the basic, you know, Webster dictionary definition. But I say that, I bring that out, I mention that because, again, you see these people here, they're going to be divided. They're going to be separated. And this is exactly what the Lord is going to do, man. The Spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai is working consistently, constantly. All right? And it says, for I come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. All right? So in essence, what this represents is a total whole where everybody's going to be divided, man. And we don't know what tool or what technique Esau is going to use to start, driving these wedges in between the people and the masses. We don't know what exactly it's going to be, but there's going to be something big that's going to do that. Right? And if you can't see it, then the Lord has blinded you and didn't want you to see it. Right? 2nd Ezra 16:71. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none. All right? So after these phases continue to progress, ultimately they're going to be like madmen, sparing none. Right? And what they're essentially going to do is they're going to put the bait out there. The people are going to bite on it. All right? And once the people bite on it, then they're going to start, segregating the people by means of force. They may start rounding you up. They may start, IDing, who's involved with these protests, who's been on marching, who's been making threats. Then they're going to start stuffing you in these prison camps. It's all going down, man. It's all happening. They got camps all over the goddamn country, man. Internment camps. 2 Ezra 16:71, it says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. All right. So these phases, I'll say it this way, these phases that are happening quickly. All right. Now the Lord said that His word will never go out void, right? And that's a true statement. That's in Isaiah 55, I believe. And what we're telling you, what we're prophesying, are the things that are going to come to pass. They're going to happen. You see? And again, we of the hopeful elect, we continually pray that Yahweh Shai Shai continually does His work and fulfills, these prophecies so we can get the hell up out of here. But this place is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. Anybody walking over here in the soils of Babylon the Great, anybody outside of the hope for the elect, you will be destroyed in this land. All right. Now, as we look at this sea of people, the Lord may have mercy on a few of these people out here. We don't know. The Lord said He'll have mercy on whom He'll have mercy. But I'm going to say this, and I speak as a man when I say this, I can probably say there's probably about a good 98% of these people right here are probably going to be taken out in them thermonuclear missiles, man. I mean, can I prove that? No. But by going by just what we see, just how these things are unfolding, and again, these people aren't for Yahweh Shai. They're not for the Lord. They're not for the prophets. They're not for the prophecies. They're not for the word of the Lord. So therefore, what are they good for? To be missile food. Basically, that's it. All right? So with that, I'm going to end it there. I just want to bring this out, and make mention again that even for you, some of you younger brothers, man, you may be faced with a situation where you got a mob of people, be wise, move accordingly. Don't be up in the middle of some shit like this, screaming and hollering. The Lord willing will guide you to where you need to be and to do what you need to do. But now we have to be circumspect beyond belief. All right. There's a lot of moving parts, man. And before you know it, when this thing starts really popping off, our enemies are going to be everywhere. They are already. But when that time comes, they're going to be everywhere and they're going to be looking for blood, man. Bottom line, they're going to be looking for blood. So with that, Lord willing, I keep you brothers in my prayers. Pray that Yahweh Shai watches over all the brothers from the head apostles and bishops and elders and the brothers in the camps on down. May the Lord continue to be with us. We say shalom.